Hey guys, it is Clary Berry here, and I am just I'm actually making some pizza right now, but I have to let it sit for a while. And I remembered that I had something really fun to share with you. I hope this lighting looks okay. I'm waiting on my computer. It's being silly, so I have no idea how this looks, but I cannot wait to share this information with you. This is so awesome. Caleb, my oldest son, Cjo, has a homework that happened to come through this week, and it's all about bananas. Okay, so this is pretty much all information here from Scholastic Professional Books. This is by Mary Rose. Okay, so it's just all information that I learned. Some of it I knew, but a lot of it I didn't. So I thought it might help, help to share the knowledge, share the wealth of information with you guys. So, of course, one of the first things that we think about bananas is, the seeds. Like, where's the seed at? Are we eating it? What's the deal? And I know a lot of people who happen to be fortunate enough to live around bananas, they, they're like, okay, we get this, we know this part, and you can skip ahead a little bit. But for those of you who are like me, live in Kansas City or some other place that doesn't grow bananas ever, you might find it interesting to know that bananas don't actually grow from a tree. It's not a tree at all. It actually is an herb. It's a gigantic herb that springs from an underground stem. So, and it's actually a berry. Did you know banana's a berry? I think that's so cool. I picked the right name. I love it. So, claryberry. Here I go. So, it's actually more similar to an orchid. It's very closely related to an orchid. So it grows up underground by these huge stems, and then they've got more stems on them, and they have these purple pointy flowers, and has all the flower private parts on it. And then, you get a hand, which has about 20 or 30 bananas on it. You've probably seen the picture of that part of it. And the hand is picked, while they're still green. And in case you don't know, don't eat bananas when they're green. That means they're not ripe. When you have bananas that are not ripe, that's when the bananas can be constipating. If you're eating brown bananas, they actually have better cancer fighting properties, and they're just better for you, and they taste better for digestion. And they won't constipate you either. So bananas actually have a long tradition in American history, but not really that long. They were introduced, it says, in 1876, and this was at basically the 100th birthday of the United States. So have not been around that long. And back then it says they were wrapped in foil and sold for about 10 cents, which is approximately what you can find them for today. So I think that's really awesome that bananas kind of have stayed the same price. You can't really say that for a lot of other foods. So, and then the next part that's so interesting to me is that the average American eats about 10 pounds of bananas a year. It's really not that much. When you look at Europeans, they eat on average about 22 pounds, so over double the amount of bananas that we're eating. Now, I think this is really, really interesting because if you talk to the average American about how the Americans or how the Europeans stay healthier than the Americans, then they'll usually say, "Oh, it's the olive oil. They eat so much olive oil, so that's why they're healthier. They don't use butter and trans fatty, vegetable oil. They just use olive oil on everything." So over here, what you have people doing is saying, "Oh, let's put olive oil on everything. Let's glug 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 glug." They don't care how much they're using. They're not even looking at the back where it has the calories and the fat and the serving size. They just are pouring it all over everything. So, and even with the spray, it's the same thing. They're spraying it everywhere. So, I think it's a conspiracy, honestly. I think it's messed up. We don't actually realize that yes, Americans are actually not only eating way more fruits and vegetables, but they actually eat a lot less meat too. So, take that to the bank. Look it up. Education is power. Um, Oil is not a health food. It doesn't matter. The reason that they say that olive oil is so healthy is because it's healthier. It's healthier than your butter. It's healthier than your GMO vegetable oil. And one little kickback about the vilification of vegetable oil. Actually, these days, if you look at vegetable oil, you know, and assuming that it's a non-GMO vegetable oil, actually, even if it is, the trans fats are out of it at this point. They know better. They're taking them out of there. If you take your average vegetable oil, it has way less trans fats than a slice of beef. In fact, your McDonald's French fries, same serving size for a tiny little piece of beef, is actually, the beef has way more trans fats. And not just your McDonald's beef, we're talking about grass fed beef, all of it. So before you start to open your mouth and talk about how bad trans fats are, and even in, say, pastries, you look at the top donut chains in the United States, you look at Dunkin' Donuts, or you look at Krispy Kreme donuts, guess how many grams of trans fats they now contain? 0. And guess how much is still in your beef that you're eating? Yeah. Some people say that it's different, that it's much different, but the fact is they haven't proven that yet. Trans fat is trans fat. So anyway, back to bananas here. You know, the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, they're so easily digested. Lots of good carbs. They also have a lot of vitamin A and a lot of vitamin C, which I think is really interesting because when you talk about we just our whole way that we learn about nutrition in this country, even nutritionists are learning, well, this food is good for this and this food is good for this, and they're not actually looking. I mean, the levels are so comparable. You take, you know, an orange, yeah, it may have more vitamin C than a lot of your other fruits, but it doesn't mean that you're not getting vitamin C from these fruits. And same thing with protein. A banana, I believe, has 2 or 3 grams of protein, and we don't even think about this. And it's got vitamin C and vitamin A and all these other things. And if you ask somebody off the street, they just think that a banana has potassium, and that's like the only thing that it offers, which, by the way, you can't really get too much potassium. So, and it also says here, potassium helps with the aging process, helps to retard the aging process. So awesome. How many people don't want that? Eat your bananas, people. I just love it when I go to the store and I'm buying all these bananas, or I'll talk on Facebook about buying cases of bananas, and they'll say, everybody says, what are you going to do with 40 pounds of bananas? And I'm just like, eat them. I don't need to, you know, put sugar in it and make it into a bread, or, you know, I mean, yeah, maybe sometime I might put it on some Ezekiel bread and have a sandwich with some raw almond butter or something like that. Or, you know, I'll put it in a smoothie and drink it down with a bunch of water and maybe a little dash of this or a little bit of that. But, I mean, just eating them, drink them down. I don't need to put them in jello, muffins, cakes, banana bread. I mean, just eat it. You know, it's so good for you, and it's just so convenient too. You don't need refrigeration. Talks all about this. Just a great reminder, you know, easily throw away container, you know, recyclable banana peel, and you know, it's awesome. So it's good snack in between meals, only 100, you know, 20 calories, maybe something like that, and they're so easily digested, so they're great to eat, you know, if you have a stomach ache or if you're not feeling well. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Before a game, you know, quick energy, excellent for you. So eat more bananas, guys. Eat your berries, eat your fruit, and stay healthy. Don't be afraid of the carbs. I eat about 500 grams of carbs a day on average, and I've weighed less than I've ever weighed. So eat your carbs, stay carved up. It'll make you happier and healthier. If you want more information, please like this video, like this channel, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more. I'll let you guys know how the pizza is. Thanks.